Welcome to stage 17 of La Vuelta 22. Primož Roglič, the three-time defending champion, is out. After going on the attack late in yesterday's stage, the Slovenian crashed within sight of the finish line, and as a result, he was forced to abandon the race this morning. Remco Evenepoel has therefore lost his biggest rival for the red jersey, although the Belgian was disappointed about how it all went down.
It's not nice to lose a big competitor and a big champion and one of the strongest guys in the race like this. It's a big loss for the race, and especially for him and for his team. They've been working hard towards this Vuelta, so I feel really sorry for them. Everybody's still dangerous. Every day is dangerous, every corner is dangerous, so we have to be careful and focused until Saturday evening and even Sunday evening.
Primož es un corredor agresivo a la hora de correr y yo creo que sí que va a cambiar la carrera a la hora de los ataques. Tengo las mismas posibilidades ayer que hoy.
Jumbo-Visma have lost their GC leader, so it's time for Rohan Dennis & co to activate Plan B.
Yeah, he was sad. Obviously, it is a shame. Unfortunately, that's the sport we're in. When one door closes, there's always more that open. It'd be sad and sort of shitty if we just sat at the back of the peloton and cruised around. We may as well go home. So have a crack in the next 4 stages and then see how Madrid goes.
After controlling all day yesterday, the peloton may give the breakaway a bit more freedom today. We can expect to see some of the usual suspects on the attack at the start of the stage.
I think in the end, Roglič being in or out doesn't really affect the breakaway's chances. I think today's quite a good stage for it with the way the route is and the finishing climb. But yeah, I mean, I think we have high hopes to be up there in the break and fighting for the win today.
Stage 17 is another relatively short one of 162 kilometres, but it's up and down all day long before a tricky climb to the finish. The Monasterio de Tentudía is 10.3 kilometres at an average of 5%, but there is actually a short descent partway through, meaning some of the steeper gradients will really bite. Well, it took around 40 kilometres for the breakaway to form. Quentin Paché and Bob Jungels kicked it off before being joined by 11 other riders. The highest placed overall was Rigoberto Urán at 15 minutes down on Remco Evenepoel. Fred Wright was up there in his 4th break of this Vuelta, along with Spanish stage winners Marc Soler and Jesus Herrada and plenty of other hopefuls: Champoussin, Maida, De Marchi, Craddock, Elisond, Gébert and Guglielmi. 13 riders in the mix after a fast-paced start. With no real danger for Quick-Step Alpha Vinyl, the gap soon yawned out to over 6 minutes. Well, one of the top sprinters was then caught up in a crash just after the feed zone, Caden Groves going to ground. The Australian looked a little bit shaken up and he was able to keep going, though that may affect his chances in Madrid on Sunday. Groves getting back to the peloton, which was now over 7 minutes back, and it quickly became apparent that the breakaway would take the stage. No fewer than 5 of the riders at the front had already won at La Vuelta. Champoussin won ahead of the GC favourites last year, while Herrada took his 2nd stage victory this year. Alessandro De Marchi has 3 Vuelta stage victories. Elisond won one back in 2013, and Soler also won this year after a previous success in 2020. 3 other riders had won Grand Tour stages: Jungels at the Giro in 2017 and this year's Tour de France. Maida won a Giro stage last year, while Urán has 2 victories in Italy and 1 in France. Only Spain is missing from his CV. Heading into the final 30 kilometres, Lawson Craddock decided to attack just as he did on Sunday on the road to Sierra Nevada. The American was quickly reeled back in by his fellow escapees, but the fun was only just beginning. Craddock had another go with 15k remaining, and Guglielmi was unable to bridge across. Wright then tried to chase the American down, but Craddock was still leading solo as they hit the final climb with around 10 seconds on the rest of the breakaway. Wright would soon be distanced after pacing for Maida, and the chasers continued to attack each other, with Urán, Champoussin and Paché pulling clear of the rest, but it was still Craddock leading the way. Soler and Herrada also joined the fray in the final few kilometres, and they finally caught up to Craddock just before the Flamme Rouge. Still 5 or 6 riders here fighting for the win. Further back in the GC group, Enric Mas tried his luck, but he was neutralised by Remco Evenepoel. The action was all up at the front.
Here we go, Rigoberto Urán kicks for the stage, Herrada's still on his wheel, Rigoberto Urán, is he going to bring home the victory for EF Education Easy Post? Herrada's still there, they are literally on their last legs, Rigoberto Urán, Herrada, Canton Pacher, Rigoberto Urán kicks around the corner and sees the gantry. Is it going to be a win for the Colombian? Rigoberto Urán takes his 4th Grand Tour stage win. That was a brutal finish.
Rigoberto Urán joins the inner circle of riders to have won stages at all 3 Grand Tours. The Colombian had come close in the past with 2nd places at the Vuelta in 2013 and 2014, and now in his 22nd Grand Tour he has finally completed the set. The 35-year-old hasn't really been a top GC contender in recent years, but this was a timely reminder of his class. It's the 15th victory of his career and his first at a Grand Tour since 2017. He also moves up to 9th place overall.
Finalmente, a falta de 300 metros, vi la oportunidad y dije, bueno, es ahora o nunca. Y bueno, lo intentamos y se logra una etapa muy linda para mí, para mi equipo, para mi carrera. Significa que siempre tenemos que creer, luchar. A veces vemos los resultados muy lejos, imposibles de llegar. Pero no, lo importante es cada día levantarse con buena actitud, con felicidad e intentarlo, nunca perder esa ilusión.
Urán taking the stage just ahead of Pacher and Herrada, with Soler, Elisand and Champoussin fading in the final. Evenepoel finished over 5 minutes back in 14th place, only shipping 9 seconds to João Almeida. And he shouldn't be losing any sleep over that. The 22-year-old still leads Mas by 2 minutes and 1 second overall. Ayuso is currently on the podium ahead of Rodriguez and Lopez. Evenepoel is just a few days away from becoming the first Belgian Grand Tour winner since back in 1978. For once, Mads Pedersen didn't take any points today, but he still has a huge lead in the green jersey standings, the Dane exactly 200 points clear of Fred Wright. Jay Vine is also looking good for the polka dot jersey, although there are a couple of Category 1 climbs on the menu tomorrow. Carapaz still in 2nd place. Evenepoel took a handful of seconds on Ayuso and Rodriguez today and still leads the white jersey standings by almost 5 minutes. The top 5 in the youth classification are in the top 7 overall. Thursday sees a return to the mountains with 3 climbs in the second half of stage 18. The riders will tackle the Alto de Piornal twice from different sides, though the average gradient remains the same at 5%. Time is running out for Mas and the rest as they look to apply some pressure to Evenepoel and Quick-Step Alpha Vinyl.